Alright, so we see mo bibi ara kwa abason koso krade by GH Politics Avenue so said the abrani na my peko so Ghanaian political hire ni said be down on sanso na any day atena se ayaboabo ansem pia no e de ba besom tebe so bibia so be jebre ne peni atena se no enjoy program no so koso kra said the abrani na moyemayem ene de ebo awura yinsimma ne kopie mo Anas Aremeyaw one Kofi Nyantakyi former GFA boss o makache mmiri bi atwam Anas de nsem bi an nyoma boni bi an Kofi Nyantakyi aye ebetu dwa ema omuyi na different no office we nam so ma na nsem tem osade nsem pi na abetu dwa se ye Kofi Nyantakyi edi boni pi abusia nsem ni pi na kawe hu ne yedi mu nkyeremu beda unti ebeso bibia so obejebre ne pene atena se no enjoy program so nkosokra na ansa na yebebo awura nsem nkyeremu no ebeso bibia na ne dedicate obetumedi so be subscribe to our channel no like ya share ama afoforo so sa ka dwumedi pa yedu AGH Politics Avenue so abusia nta obi abre penity mmenkwaje nsem nkyeremu.
After number 12, Anas chases Kwasi Nyantakyi again. So what does Aremeyaw want from Kwasi Nyantakyi? I am happy this is happening. Before I came into the studio, I called Aremeyaw, but I didn't get a response. This is Kwasi Nyantakyi. There was a time he was so untouchable. He made our sports so exciting, allegedly. This is Kwasi Nyantakyi. He was the capo of our football, the sports of our nation. In fact, the heartbeat of the nation, soccer. And he made sure he delivered most of the time. Of course, controversies left, right, and center, but he always rose above the storm. We all admired him. Little did we know that he was not straight. He was crooked, allegedly. Till Aremeyaw, the investigative journalist who wears a mask. Aremeyaw came out with a certain documentary, investigative piece called Number 12. And we all were supposed to go to the Independence Square to watch this. The crowd was so much. The whole place was packed to capacity. And I remember, yes, I think it was at the conference center. Yes, conference center. We all went there, sat down, and when the film started showing, oh my God, we saw Kwasi Nyantakyi demanding money from some alleged Arab Sheikh Al-Thani. Million after million until it was up to 12 million American dollars. That's why the documentary was called Number 12. The way he spoke, the greed. Later we're told he even one time went there with a Liberian politician who wanted to ascend to the presidency, Appointee George, a one-time best player of the world, who I love so much, to be able to seek financial assistance from the rich oil sheikh called Sheikh Al-Thani. Nyantakyi didn't know. Aremeyaw just created that character in order to remove or unearth, expose his greed and his crooked nature. So he went in there. We saw the video. Oh, it was big. We were taking money, dollars from Sheikh Al-Thani, and the greed increased. We heard Kwasi Nyantakyi supposedly on the tape say that he had the president in his pocket. Then it was Akuffo Addo. And they even had something to say about the whole nation Ghana. In fact, it impugned on money laundering and even more. Kwasi Nyantakyi was finished and disgraced for life. First, he had to resign. Secondly, the president had to, in fact, detach himself from him. He was so disgraced beyond measure, and CAF itself decided to relegate him to the back burner. My brother, Kwasi Nyantakyi, went flat to the ground. In his heydays, he owned a certain team in the Upper West region and much more. Later he said, Anas tried to get some bribe off him so he could shelve the tape. That is neither here nor there. The contents of the tape, he said, got doctored. Now, the nation decided to prosecute Nyantakyi. It was Ghana versus Nyantakyi. And Anas was asked to come there as a prosecution witness. He agreed on condition that he would not show his face, especially in a country where somebody in his team by name Ahmed Swale was gunned down in broad daylight. And up till now, we don't have a clue how the person died. Yet it happened in broad daylight. He refused. Kwasi Nyantakyi granted an interview to Joy News AM show. And remember, we've told Kwasi Nyantakyi over and over, if I were Kwasi Nyantakyi, I would apologize to the people of Ghana the same way you apologize to the president for the nauseating things you said about him, derogatory things you allegedly said in the tape. Apologize to the people of Ghana. Ask Ghana to develop a big heart enough to forgive you and find a place in that big heart to put you in there in mercifulness. No. He went round trying to defend himself, following Kennedy Japan on some other issues and all that. He granted an interview and he told a sad story. Watch this. My daughter asked if I was a thief. Kwasi Nyantakyi says number 12 expose cost him irreparable damage. Dash it away. That's what he said. And when we watch the tape, it's sad. Watch this.
What was the impact on your personal self and your family, your immediate family?
Oh, it was very bad for me. Very, very bad. I thank my friends who came around and helped me to navigate through this personal turmoil in my life. Yeah. And at that time, let me tell you something that happened. My daughter was in school. That time she was in GIS. She was 9 years. She asked me a question, and it's sad. She said, "Daddy, is it true that you are a thief?" Then I said, but you two, what from this funny question? She said she heard it on radio. She heard it on radio. You know, for me, I don't listen to radio when I'm in my car. I don't listen. But I think a driver or somebody took her from school and she heard it and she asked me. And I said, it's not true. You know, imagine this. A judgment by or such a damning question by your own daughter that I heard you are a thief. Is it true? Wow. Yeah, the damage is irreparable, but I don't have anything against him. He should relax. If his conscience is battling with him, it's between him and God. I'm not part of his worries.
You heard that clearly, right? His 9-year-old returned from school and asked, "Daddy, are you a thief?" And he was shocked. Why this question? I heard it on radio. Of course, if you are seen in a tape asking for money to be able to buy Kennedy Japan, to buy the president of Ghana and the vice president, and control the whole of Ghana with a stranger, a foreigner, Sheikh Al-Thani, you must be ashamed of yourself. You must be ashamed of yourself. In the days of slavery, if this tape is anything to go by, this guy would have been a slave master. If you can take a foreigner's money, buy the president, buy the vice president, buy the loudmouth Kennedy Japan in your own ways, so you can help the foreigner control the whole nation, then you are a traitor. Traitor. Bad traitor. You know who a traitor is? In the days of slavery, this would have been a guy holding whips and betraying his own brothers and sisters, selling them into slavery. Kwasi Nyantakyi. And he's still talking. I thought he would have taken our advice. I saw another publication in which he said that he does not hold anything against Anas. Correct? And that he blames himself. You know that, right? That's what he said. Watch this. I blame myself, not Anas. Kwasi Nyantakyi reflects on number 12 expose. Now let's go a bit into this. You will be shocked what is in there. Former president of the Ghana Football Association, Kwasi Nyantakyi, says he harbors no grudge against investigative journalist Aremeyaw over the number 12 expose, insisting that he takes full responsibility for the actions that led to his exit from the football administration. When I saw this, I was excited. I said, oh, he's finally listened to us. The evidence is overwhelming. You go explain Kaya if you don't get evidence. Flip the page. The number 12 documentary, released in 2018, exposed alleged corruption in Ghanaian football and resulted in Mr. Nyantakyi stepping down from his roles at the GFA, the Confederation of African Football, and FIFA. Now, speaking on Joy News' AM show on Tuesday, that's today, January 6th, Kwasi Nyantakyi said he had chosen self-reflection rather than assigning blame. I don't think about him. I hold nothing against him. I blame myself, he said, stressing that he bears no bitterness towards the investigative journalists. And listen to the final part of it. However, Mr. Nyantakyi questioned the credibility of the investigation, arguing that Anas never engaged him directly during the undercover operation. Anas claims that he did the number 12 expose on me, but I never met him. He operated like the way a terrorist would in another country, and then says, I am the one. That was what he did. So I have nothing. Dash it away. This is hogwash. He's an investigative journalist. If you're going to catch a thief, you don't have to go personally as the CID boss. You have your boys who go in for that. You see, Mr. Nyantakyi, anytime you speak, I feel embarrassed for you. You are not a little boy. You are grown. In fact, I have so much respect for you. We all goof time after time. For how long can you continue playing the buffoonery on this issue? I am so disgusted by a grown-up man. In America, they say grown-ass man, who is trying to belittle the minds of people who have common sense. We saw you in that tape. They asked Anas to bring the whole unedited tape. He provided everything to Akroma and all those useless guys in power. They looked at it. President watched everything from beginning to the end. His mouth went hoya, agape, like that of a hungry crocodile. You know what happened? He was convinced. He came to fire you, Kwasi Nyantakyi. You had to go and apologize. Vice President issued a certain pressure against you. Could they have all been wrong? My brother, we goof once in a while. Sometimes you are caught with somebody's wife. It's happened. Forgive me, I am really sorry. I take the blame. Whatever the punishment is, I take it. If it's in the Arab countries, you'll be stoned to death. Oh, I stole. Oh, I take responsibility for that. I am really sorry. I don't know why this thing happened. Please, I take responsibility. Whatever punishment, I'm ready to take it. They will cut off your left hand. Then you walk with one hand. When you meet people, you greet them with one hand. At least I respect a man like that more than a man who tries to play shaggy. It wasn't me. No, sir. Bros, the thing is clear. We all saw it. The presidency asked for the whole unedited tape and Nas presented it. From 2018, 7 years later, Nyantakyi is still moving from one radio station to the other talking about this same old thing. Well, Anas has responded, chasing him into every corner that he goes. This is Anas. Come here! What is Anas saying? 6th January, that is today, press release from the Tiger IPI. Oh gosh. He says Tiger IPI has taken note. Open it up so we can read it and everybody can read it alongside, okay? My brother, my sister, Anas has written something deep. He wants everybody to understand this. And I need you to follow this thing. Okay? Okay. I may fill up the screen so we can all read it up, right? We want to see what is in it so everybody can read it. Okay. It took so long to come, but it is here finally. Tiger PI has taken note once again of yet another frantic attempt by Mr. Kwasi Nyantakyi to peddle misinformation and disinformation about one of the most consequential investigations in African football history, number 12. 1. It is important to place on record that the CEO of Tiger IPI, Aremeyaw Anas, had no case against Mr. Nyantakyi in court that he needed to prove. The case before the court was between the Republic of Ghana and Kwasi Nyantakyi, who was being prosecuted for several offenses, including fraud. It is therefore bizarre, though not unusual, that Mr. Nyantakyi continues to misrepresent the matter as Anas versus Nyantakyi. 2. Anas offered to testify as a prosecution witness after our lead investigator, Ahmed Swale, who had been threatened by Mr. Nyantakyi, was brutally assassinated. Anas declined to testify only after the trial judge ruled that he must testify in camera, but without a mask. This would have exposed him to grave danger, particularly in a country where the murder of Ahmed Swale remains unresolved. 4. Tiger IPI made it clear that Anas's testimony was strictly contingent on his safety, including not revealing his face to Mr. Nyantakyi. The position was non-negotiable. 5. The case was withdrawn by the Attorney General despite overwhelming evidence of fraud, impersonation, and other criminal conduct. Mr. Nyantakyi was not acquitted on the merits. The case collapsed solely because of a flawed prosecutorial decision to discontinue proceedings following Anas's withdrawal. 6. FIFA found Mr. Nyantakyi guilty of misconduct in addition to a $500,000 fine, $500,000 American dollar fine, imposed a life ban, later reduced to 10 years. Nyantakyi lost his position as FIFA executive member and president of Ghana Football Association as a result of the expose. This confirms that the decision by the government of Ghana to drop criminal charges had no justification. Mr. Nyantakyi filed a defamation and breach of privacy suit against Anas but abandoned it. He has instead chosen to litigate in the court of public opinion alongside Kennedy Japan. If he is credible, he should return to court. 8. We understand Mr. Nyantakyi may be seeking to rehabilitate his damaged reputation. However, history cannot be rewritten with lies, distortions, or propaganda. 9. Tiger PI, that's Tiger IPI, urges the public to disregard this latest attempt at deception. 10. Tiger IPI remains unwavering in its mission to confront corruption in fulfillment of our mandate to name, shame, and jail. Dash it away. This is what it is. Yes. Anas has brought it up. Everything is clear. So Nyantakyi, you seem to be in a very big desperation to clear your name, and it's not washing. Internationally, you have been fined $500,000 American dollars. You lost your position. You were banned for life. They looked at it later. Out of sympathy, maybe, they decided to reduce it to 10 years. So in 2 years, you could try again. You tried to stand for MP, and in the primaries at Ejuso, you had votes that looked like it was only you and your family that voted for you. That tells us that you have a lot to do. Whoever is advising you is not doing you any good. If I were you, Charlie, it happened. And me, I went there to celebrate Ghana. Some of the things that were said in there, as a Ghanaian, I was just saying those to entice the man to invest in our football. You know how much I love our football. I was just saying a lot of those things. You know how you can be sweet-mouthed when you talk to people trying to get investment for your nation. I'm sure Ghanaians would have wholeheartedly forgiven you. Because a lot of us do that. You try to sweet-talk a woman. Things you don't have, you sweet-talk her that you have. It's common amongst us. You go to do business, you do sweet-talking so that you can get the business, hoping that you would deliver. It might not be the best, but you could have some people escape.
Abusia so tim nyanto wasi tie nsem na ekoso na neche se ya Kwasi Nyantakyi ena anasa se akoye nhwehwe mu foforo afa no ho a ode nsem pi abetudwa yen celebrate pain nti bi se anum se GH Politics Avenue so ye besem se abre ne abre nyina mbeka en se ne dan da mo kan yen celebrate pain nti bi se amakram